Hey there, this is Wanda with Pretty Cute Press, and today I wanted to come in and show you how to utilize the bookmark backgrounds that I have in the shop. I've gotten a few questions, so I wanted to give you an overview on ways that you could use them. When you get the bookmark backgrounds, these are simply image files. They're PNG files that I pre-designed for you so that you can then come in and overlay your on images and text. So you can use these in any software such as Photoshop, Photopea. You can use it in PowerPoint. You could even use it in Word. You could use it in Canva. So starting out, when you download the files, they're going to be in individual PNG files, and they're going to look like this. They're blank. They don't have, they just got this flat design that background that I've designed so that you can add any text or images and things that you wish. Here is an example of one that I did as um, as an example of how you can customize these by layering on your own images and text and things like that. So if you are someone who has Photoshop and you've downloaded your image on your computer, you can simply right click on your image and tell it to open with, and then choose what software tool that you want to open it with. Again, you could also use this with the Affinity Suite. It's any image, it's any software that allows you to work with images. You can use these files in. For now, I'm going to say Adobe Photoshop, and that's going to take a minute. And while that's loading, I'm going to go ahead and go to a free spot that you can go to, which is Canva. And on Canva, it's free or paid. I actually have a paid subscription, but you can utilize it for free. So if I was setting this up and wanted to start using it in Canva, what I could do is go to custom size. My computer, yeah. And then I'm going to change this to inches. I'm going to put my width as 2 and my height as 6. And I'm going to go to create new design. And you'll see that pops up here about bookmark. So I'm going to create that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my image, my background, whichever one I want to work with, and I'm going to drag it and drop it into this Canva document, and it's going to go up into my uploads, and in a few minutes, once it has time to process, then that image will be available for us to work with. Okay, so once I have my image here, I can either stretch it like this by pulling out the handles you want to do on the corners, or you can right click on it and tell it to, sorry, I can't see. You can tell it to, well, this is grayed out. Okay, here we go. Set image as background, and then that will pop it in like that. If you don't like how it's placed, you can say detach image from background, and then just bring it up like this according to how you like. Okay, so now I have my image in there. Let me stretch this out a little bit more so it takes up my full bookmark. And from there, I can click on T for text. So I can add a title and say, and you would put whatever, whatever title you want here. I'm just playing around. So I'm going to say forever in our hearts. Of course, I need to shrink this. And perhaps I don't want it white. I want maybe purple. Then I'm going to do a little shadow to make it stand out. Okay. Then now I'm going to look for an element, and this I'm going to do a photo. I'm going to look for a woman that I'm going to use as my actual image. But of course, you would have your own picture. So once you have the picture that you want to use, you would just drag and drop it the same way I did for the background. And if your image has like this has a background, well, I might not necessarily want it to look like that. So if you have um let's see, edit. If you are a Canva Pro user, then you can use this background remover. And if I click on that, then that's going to take, you see how that removed that brown. So now I have an image of her that doesn't have that background, that I can easily see the background of my bookmark. Okay. Then if I wanted to have some text here, I could do that and change it. And maybe this one I want her to want to have the name. And you can change your fonts to, whatever you like. I'm just giving you an example of the ways that you can use it. Bump up my line spacing. Change that to something that's a little bit more readable there. Then I'm going to look for some smoke, just to give me and anytime. One thing about Canva, if you're using a free account, you want to be mindful of these icons that have the crown. Those are for pay. You would have to pay for those if you don't have a pro subscription. So I could do something like that. I like the color, but I don't like the layout of that. So anyway, you would just keep designing it how you like. Once you got everything the way you want it to look on your image, then what you would do is simply go over here to share, download, and then you would choose how you want to download it. Do you want it in one of these image formats, JPEG, PNG, standard, or you could do a PDF? And so you would pick however you want to download it. So I'm going to leave it at PNG and then hit download, and it's going to download onto your computer. and then you're ready to print it from your printer or send it to a print shop. Another way you could do your image is to go over here to your elements and look for frame, and say you can put this circle here as a frame, and then you can drag her down in there, and the photo will take on a more rounded shape on there. So that's another way that you can utilize these. So like I say, Canva is a completely free website, but they do have some paid option. So that's one way to use these background images. And you can come in here and add any text. You just layer on your elements. Once you completed your design the way that you like, then you simply download it and you're ready to print it to your computer. Okay, let's see. Now my Photoshop was working on some other things. So here in Photoshop, remember we right clicked on it in our file folder, and I told it to open with Photoshop. And so now I have that background image there, and this works the same way. So from here you can go in and start layering in your photos. Let's see. So I'm going to, okay, this is a girl I was working with. I'm going to bring that photo in, drop it, and Photoshop, let's see. I'm going to rasterize this layer, and I'm going to click on remove background. Sometimes Photoshop doesn't do as well as Canva with removing the background, and she's kind of blended in, so it may not be perfect, but this is just an example. So, oh, that did good. Okay, so I have her there, and then I'm going to, I'm going to bring in a element that I created. I'm bring in this forever in our hearts. I'm going to drop that down here. Yeah, I think I'm going to drop it down here. And because I don't want her to have this little hard edge, then I'm going to apply the mask. Mask. Then I'm going to put another mask on there, and then I'm going to just kind of use a soft brush to, so that there's not a hard edge there. And I'm on my brush, and then I'm going to change it to black. And then I'm just going to fade that off a little bit so that she just kind of blends in with the background. Okay. Whoops. Need to lock that. Okay. Text. Then you can come in with your T and add any additional text. You know, if you wanted to write a poem, if you wanted to write, you know, whatever, you would put that here. You wanted to write her name, you can do that. It's, however, so this was designed so that you can use your own creativity and images and text to create something really to your unique style and taste, to create some beautiful memorial images for your loved ones, or for or for people, if you have a business and creating a small business, creating memorial keepsakes for others. So that's Photoshop. That's how you can use it in Photoshop. Another online place that is similar to Photoshop that's free is called Photopea, I believe. And it's an online photo editor. And you would just go to this website, click on Start Using Photopea. And you would go, let's see, I'm going to drag and drop my image, my background in here. I will just drag and drop it. Okay, you see how, and then that immediately opened that up. So from here, then I can start adding on my text. The T is for your text. And you could start adding on your images and stuff there. So of course, I would need to bump up the size. Now we'll want to change the color. Okay, so it is very similar to Photoshop. And center it. So the same way I did with Photoshop, I can do it similar here. You'll just keep adding on. If you had something else that you wanted to bring in your photo, you would either drag and drop it or click on File, Open, and Place, and that will place your image inside of there. Once you're happy with it, then you can go to File and save, and then you can go to download your images there. Photopea is not a software that I use often, but like I say, it's pretty comparable to Photoshop, and so it works in a similar way, and it is a free a tool that you can use. And since it's online, you can use it on any computer or even your phone. So you have two online options: Canva or Photopea. I showed you a software if you actually have Photoshop. You can also utilize this in something like PowerPoint, and PowerPoint happens to be another software tool that I really like creating images in or creating products in. And for some, if you have a desktop computer, a laptop, and you are a user of Microsoft, you might already have that on your computer. If so, you can utilize it. So here, all you would do is go to design, and we want to change our slide size, and we could change it to, I'm going to do 11 by 8.5 so that I would have a letter size piece of paper. And it doesn't matter which one you choose there because we don't have anything there. Then I could do the same thing of dragging my image over here, placing it there, and then I could go in and add text, insert text. Then say, for instance, you wanted to have a poem here. You could just type out your text here, and pick your font, pick your color, and all of that. And once you're happy with it, this way you could easily, once you're happy with it, then you would click Control G to group everything together. And then you could do Control C if you're on a Windows, and I think on a Mac it's Command Command G. So, and then you could Control V and paste, and this way you can put multiple copies of this here if you was creating it for more than for yourself, if you was creating something for a group of family members or something. So I could put several of these on one page and then file, save it, and send it to the printer, and you could easily print different multiple bookmarks on one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. You could also utilize this in a software like Word, same way that I did in PowerPoint. Simply open up a document, drag your image in there, click on it, add your text. Once you're happy with it, you can, um, create multiple images like this, and then you print it. So I designed these background images to be able to be used in any particular software. It's just designed to give you a beautiful background as a starting place for you to create something really memorable for your family and loved ones. I hope that this quick tutorial has been helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or leave a comment. Thanks so much for your purchase, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.